Track number 3 on today's MSI, and we're going to head straight to John. First of all, John, your thoughts on track number 3?
It's a bit different, isn't it? When it first came in, I found the sound a little bit too ringy, but then it seemed to sit okay as soon as the rest of the mix came in, which probably goes to show you need to actually mix differently at different points. EQ it a bit differently. Overall, it all seemed to be, at least on my system, all happening from the mid to the top. There was nothing down in the bass end, really. So I prefer so that sounds wrong to me. The drums, a bit too rigid, really. It's a song that's really calling, at least for my taste, for a good drummer who's putting something into it, and with a slightly more organic sound as well. I'm not sure if the drums are all sequenced. They sound very precise in timing to me, so I suspect they were. Vocals I liked. Could have heard them a bit more in some points. Guitar sounds most of the time good. And overall, I really like the song, to be honest. But there's just a few things in the mix, a few of the sound choices that I think they might be able to do a bit differently on those drums. But I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, John. Thank you so much. And over to Ian we go. Ian, your thoughts?
I'm still trying to work out who this was. I mean, there was elements of U2 in there. There was elements of Genesis in there. But it was also trying to be a bit more contemporary. Maybe elements of the Killers and bands like that in there too. And I think there was a lot of good stuff going on in there. As John was saying, the guitar sounds were good. Really nice to hear a well-recorded and well-EQ'd acoustic guitar in the introduction. That kind of got lost throughout the song. The vocal mix was very inconsistent. Sometimes he was too loud, sometimes he wasn't loud enough, and that really needs paying attention to. And I felt the vocal was very thin. Again, attention on EQ, especially in the bottom end there, and dry. In fact, I think the whole song was very thin. It was lacking in bottom end. There was no clarity in that bass. There was no warmth coming through. It was all very sort of up there in the mids and the highs. The bass, what I did here was very nondescript, again, because those drums were very precise. The bass I didn't find was doing anything that interesting from what I could hear. We've talked about this in the past, and it sounds to me like this vocalist is struggling a little bit, and I think this song would benefit by lowering the key. He's obviously got a voice, he can obviously get up there, but it does sound like he's struggling in places. And I think if you brought it down in key, one, it might thicken that whole song up a little bit, give it a bit more balls behind the guitars, and it would make it easier for him to sing. Don't be afraid of doing things in your range, because that is your range. Don't push things because you want it to sound more poppy, so you want a higher range vocal or something like that. Just do it as is comfortable for you, because your performance will be better. Someone in the chat was saying it could possibly be doing it a little bit slower. Yes, again, a bit slower. It might help the vocalist out, get some of those lyrics in, and with his breathing and everything to make the next line that bit easier to sing. Because I think breathing is part of his problem here. You can hear him almost in some places tense up with that breath and then go into it. And the biggest problem for me was that circulating auto-filtered synth, which was sort of seemed to go throughout the whole song, which was just dominating the whole mix. It was just cutting through everything in places. It was drowning out that acoustic guitar. It was cutting through the vocal in places. I understand what you're trying to do with that, just to give it a bit more of a contemporary sound, but that needs knocking back in the mix. It was dominating, and it's not good. The overall inconsistencies in the mix for this really made the dynamic of the track not work as well as it should do. You can hear the dynamics are there in the instrumentation, but because the mix isn't working correctly, you don't get that kick in on that chorus, and it all just seems to sit on that same level. So that needs paying attention to. Getting consistency over that vocal will then help you pull in the dynamics around it. Yeah, that was it. I mean, there's a good song there. There's definitely a good song there. I think the guy's got a good voice, just needs to sing more in his range. Lyrically, nothing's really stuck in my head, to be honest. It's only one listen. It might be one of those songs you need to listen to, but nothing's stuck there as a hook.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Ian. Thank you for your thoughts. And Mr. Tom Chianti, what do you think?
2 words. Hi-hat. I really missed the hi-hat in this. It was interesting that they kept going to the overheads, and the overheads sounded, a lot softer and smoother than the previous song. Overall, clarity would have really helped the song. I agree with Ian about the vocal and the vocalist. And about that synth, it was just way too loud, and it blotted out a lot of interesting things that were going on. The drums could have been better defined. It just needed a better definition altogether. It just sounded like a wash of effects. And the tempo, the key, it may have helped, it may not have helped. It could have been a bad day for the vocalist. I think it's in his range. Maybe he was going for too much drama, but it did sound something there was lacking. But my biggest thing was I would have liked to hear a quarter note or an interesting triplet or something on a hi-hat to give it a root and push it more. And overall, much more clarity. The drum sound was not to my liking, but it's an interesting changeover from verse to hook. That was done well, and overall, I do like it. I just think it just suffers from a lack of definition.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Tom. Thank you very much to introduce that track. Let's go to the boards. That track is called Falling by a group called The Dusk. The Dusk with Falling. We appreciate their sending that through the labs today. Now, before we send the guys off to determine what the song of the week is, I want to invite everybody over to the Witness page at musicscene.com or musicsceneinvestigation.com/witness, or you can hit that link that was thrown into the chat room and let us know what you thought. You got 3 subjects there. Select one and make your thoughts known. We'll bring those to you at the top of next week's show. And now, gentlemen, we have a task for you 3, that being on deciding a song of the week for this week. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you guys so you can argue it out.
Well, we're going to watch a video first.
No, we're going to watch that after.
Oh, and
I'm mixing it up.
Looking forward to it.
I'm mixing it up.
DJ Rich on the decks.
That's right. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo. Oh dear. 50p ahead, the body ride's free. This is a hard week, actually. What do you reckon, guys?
I have no problem with going with number 3.
How about you, John? Because I'm kind of torn between 2 and 3.
Yeah. I am possibly not as much as you. One, I'd say keep going there with the songwriting. It's got, I like the way he's going, but there's work to be done. 2, I was going to go with that one at one point, partly because the name reminds me of an ex, but
you weak male, you weak male.
Which is part, I think, what the song's about, isn't it? But I like the, yeah, it's got potential, but I'm definitely on 3. Basically because for me it's a remix, and I'd be able to listen to it again, re-record it with maybe a lower key, maybe change the tempo, certainly redo the drums, and I think that it might be a song that I could get to actually quite like. So it takes the least to get to where I find it okay on my iPod, and I think it's got the most potential to be something that I'd get into. So that's for me. It's 3.
All right. Now, the undecided and torn Ian, what do you think?
Well, I think the guys have made up my mind for me, and looking at the guys in the chat, they're going with song 3 as well. So again, I'm not going to rock the boat on this one. 3 very good songs. I mean, some really good writing being displayed this week. Mixes and production seem to be the main points of suffering, which can all be corrected quite easily if you've got a good song. So, yeah, I'll go with number 3.
All right. Well, there you have it then. 3.
Yeah, I think number 3 would actually, with a really good mastering job, sound 10 times better if they were to leave it as it is. But yeah, overall, I was, like I said, it was very easy for me to make a choice. It just had the most of everything we look for.
All right. Makes sense, guys. Now, for that moment you've all been waiting for, the movie that Tommy's going to star in. Here you go. Enjoy this. New York City. No one is safe. Crime abounds. People are afraid. But there's a new hero come to save the day.
I'm Batman, damn it!
Tom Chianti is the Sleepless Knight.
Goodbye, Dad. Bye.
And he is the Sleepless Knight. We all know that. So you can find that in your local theaters at some time in the near or distant future. We don't know. Tommy, when is that movie coming out?
Find it running down the street on the gutter on a rainy night.
You're not going to tell us when that movie's coming out?
No, that'll come out right after my porn.
Right after Behind the Red Door?
Yeah, Behind the Red Door. Yeah, in front of Behind the Red Door.
Gotcha. John, we really appreciate you sitting in with us, man. As always, any man who's had a part in the Olympics like what you've had, I think, can come on anytime he wants.
Thanks a lot. It's great to be here.
We're happy to have you anytime. Ian, Tom, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thanks to everyone out in the audience as well. Remember, you don't have to watch us live, but we really enjoy it when you do.